was told to do that, and he just went along and did it. You know, and they always try and lock in bigger fights or future fights before other fights have been made, and that's
my focus. It's Daniel.
And you have no doubt that you're going to beat him?
I think I win. Yeah, I believe.
He's been here with you, but I believe that he has weaknesses, and it was nearly exploited in that first fight. I mean, that's the punch I always felt would.
Joseph Parker has ignited fierce debate in the boxing world with a bold warning ahead of the highly anticipated rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. His comments have reverberated through the sport, stirring speculation about the possible outcome of this blockbuster clash. The former world champion didn't mince
to quit in the Joe Joyce fight. I mean, I'm not sure what the problem was with the eye. Maybe it was a proper problem that he had, and then the Usyk fight got down with a jab. So these fighters were able to make him find a way out, or maybe it got too hard for him. I don't know what's going on in Daniel.
Words when discussing the July 19th showdown at Wembley, which will see all 4 major heavyweight titles on the line. While Parker acknowledged Usyk's technical brilliance and undefeated record at age 38, he cautioned the Ukrainian southpaw not to underestimate Dubois. "You can never write Daniel Dubois off," Parker stated. He emphasized that Dubois, now holding the IBF belt, is a different fighter this time, more determined, sharper, and backed by a strong team. Since suffering defeats to Usyk, Jarrell Miller, and Anthony Joshua, Dubois has returned with a vengeance, determined to rewrite his legacy. Interestingly, Dubois was originally scheduled to face Parker in February, but illness forced him to withdraw during fight week. Parker...
So you went in as an underdog against Jarrell Miller, and you went in as an underdog against Filip Hrgovic, and you performed and delivered on both of those.
I know, it's just coming through that, it's just building. Those 2 fights were like my redeeming fights for me, so bouncing off of that, I'm the man of the future now, so it's just building me and building my character, and I'm a battle-rising fight now.
And I've been able to see the resurgence of Daniel Dubois. It's been beautiful, it's been amazing. He's been able to change the minds of those who doubted him, and the big win he just got over Joshua was remarkable.
I know you won't be looking past Joseph Parker, but you made your presence felt in Riyadh last time out when you called out Oleksandr Usyk. Is that realistic? You think that you can get to him again, and what would you do differently next time?
Yeah, I wouldn't let him off the hook next time. He got away lucky last time, so I need to right that wrong and get my revenge. But first things first is Parker, so yeah, not all eyes.
Instead, fought and dismantled Martin Bacol in under 2 rounds. A dominant performance that only added to his rising stock. Many fans hoped the bout with Dubois would be rescheduled, but Dubois chose to chase a legacy-defining rematch with Usyk for the undisputed title instead. Parker, fresh off victories over top-tier opponents like Deontay Wilder and Zhilei Zhang, is now firmly entrenched among the division's elite. With WBO President Gustavo Olivieri recently confirming that Parker will get the first shot at the unified champion, all eyes are on him. Parker made it clear he's closely watching the outcome of the Usyk-Dubois rematch. Whichever man emerges victorious, Parker stands ready to challenge for all the belts, solidifying his path back to the top of the heavyweight division. Master of adaptability, Oleksandr Usyk rose to prominence as the undisputed...
They couldn't give me that because of the political state. It wasn't just a fight, and you know they sort of got out of that one a bit. But anyway, I'm going to have to put the record straight and clear up the controversy and make sure that I nail him to the canvas this time.
Was it a low blow? The answer to that is yes, it was a low blow. Under the Queensberry rules, if a punch lands on the belt or the box area, then it's considered a foul, an unintentional foul. If it's below the navel, then it's a low blow. It doesn't have to be directly in the gonads for it to be a low blow. It doesn't have to be direct full force impact straight in between the legs. And the punch landed on the belt line, and if you look at Usyk's belt line, you can see his belly button just sort of steering out the top of his belt line. You land a shot on here, this is a good shot, it's a body shot. The referee didn't do that. Bottom part of the glove was on the actual shorts, on his scrotum area, really quite low, too low really. So it was a legitimate low blow.
Disputed cruiserweight champion in 2018 and has since conquered the heavyweight division by 2024, securing monumental wins over Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. His first bout with Daniel Dubois ended in controversy in the 9th round, sparking debate that continues to fuel anticipation for the July 19th rematch. Joseph Parker, who was on standby to face the winner, acknowledged Dubois' remarkable evolution, describing him as a fighter reborn, full of purpose and danger. Parker praised Usyk's experience and tactical brilliance, highlighting his ability to break down opponents with intelligence and movement. However, he warned that Usyk cannot afford to underestimate Dubois' raw knockout power, which Parker believes could.
Usyk, nobody, I think, except me for right now, because he beat everyone. I don't know, because I don't know that the one to Wilders, I think, is done. But Usyk is boxing man, a boxing brain. The box movement, I don't think no one will stop him right now, except Martin Bakol. I know why I'm saying that, because I learned box from my brother who's Saxpo. Not only learn from that, but I know how to stop and cross the ring. But Daniel Dubois does. I was respecting the Usyk to get beat by a gypsy.
Could be the deciding factor in the rematch. While Usyk is a master at controlling tempo and positioning, Parker stressed that one clean shot from Dubois could flip the narrative instantly. Meanwhile, heavyweight contender Martin Bakol, who was recently stopped by Parker, has thrown his own hat into the mix, boldly claiming he's the only fighter capable of defeating Usyk. Bakol, known for his experience sparring with southpaws, argued that Joshua and Dubois struggled with Usyk's elusive movement, but he remains confident that he can eventually solve the puzzle and hand Usyk his first loss.
I think Daniel Dubois, he's on a roll. He's coming off of a massive win against AJ. Usyk's also on a massive roll. So I think that fight's going to come down to mindset.
As the rematch approaches, one moment from their first fight still divides fans. The controversial 5th round body shot that dropped Usyk. Former cruiserweight world champion and respected pundit Tony Bellew firmly defended the referee's call, stating the punch clearly landed on the groin protector and was rightly ruled a low blow. He dismissed any notion of injustice and predicted a similar outcome in the rematch if both fighters stick to their original tactics. Adding to the hype, Chris Eubank Jr. has thrown his full support behind Dubois, calling him unstoppable, especially after his massive win over Joshua. But with Usyk...
Something about Usyk saying that he thought Conor Benn won the fight. I don't know if this is true. I can't imagine that he watched that fight and thought that Conor Benn won, because it's just, I landed twice as many punches. But people are telling me it's true. If that's the truth, then I'm low-key rooting for Dubois.
Team Dubois, absolutely.
Because that's crazy. That's really crazy.
Also riding a wave of momentum, the upcoming fight is more than just a battle of power. It's a high-stakes clash of form, confidence, and legacy. The rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois will ultimately come down to mindset. The key question is whether Dubois' fiery intensity can match Usyk's precise, methodical approach. With both fighters at the peak of their powers, this clash of power versus precision is set to deliver fireworks, making it one of the most anticipated bouts in modern heavyweight boxing. British heavyweight Dave Allen, who has sparred with both Usyk and Dubois, has surprised many with his take. While he openly respects Usyk's ring IQ and character,
nearing 40 as a small heavyweight, because he's not a big fella. He hit me on the chin and on the ego, and he's outstanding, but he isn't a big bloke. He's not a massive man. I'm 6'3", 6'4", but I'm like 20 stone. walking around at 21 stone. He's not a big man. He's quite slim. So I just think it's going to be awesome.
Having even suffered a concussion during a sparring session with the Ukrainian, Allen now believes Dubois could pull off the upset. In his eyes, Usyk still possesses brilliance, but Dubois has undergone a transformation since their first meeting. He's stronger, more tactical, and far more determined. Allen suggests that this new version of Dubois might have what it takes to overwhelm the reigning champion. His unexpected endorsement of Dubois adds another layer of intrigue to an already thrilling build-up. With the stakes higher than ever, all eyes are on whether Dubois' evolution is enough to dethrone the masterful Usyk. Only time will tell.
The rematch, and Dubois is a different animal. He's a better fighter now. He's had some great wins against Jarrell Miller, Hrgovic. He absolutely splattered Anthony Joshua. We've seen that fight, and he's now full of confidence. He's on the crest of a wave, and he's a guy now getting into the ring really, really solidly, believing in himself. He's like a new fighter. He's now IBF world champion. He's not beaten the champ to get the title. It's like...
Former super middleweight champion Carl Froch has added his voice to the growing chorus, questioning whether Oleksandr Usyk's reign at the top of the heavyweight division might be nearing its end. While Froch acknowledges Usyk as the favorite heading into the rematch, he believes Daniel Dubois is entering his prime at the perfect time. Citing Dubois' stunning demolition of Anthony Joshua, Froch sees clear signs of a fighter who has evolved, stronger, smarter, and more confident. According to Froch, Dubois is no longer the raw, inexperienced contender who faced Usyk back in 2023. Instead, he's now a well-rounded...
Quite a different stylistic proposition than Anthony Joshua.
It is, but they know each other. They've been in the ring together. They've shared a ring together. I know he can hurt him. I know that Usyk, who I've got great admiration for, he's beaten every British fighter that he's been in with. But I believe that he has weaknesses and it was nearly exploited in that first fight.
And dangerous heavyweight, capable of exploiting any signs of aging or vulnerability in Usyk's performance. This growing belief has injected fresh intrigue into the rematch, leading fans and pundits alike to wonder if Usyk's dominance could finally be tested. Backing this belief, Dubois and his promoter Frank Warren have developed a focused strategy centered around targeting Usyk's body, an area they believe holds the key to victory. After breaking down extensive footage of Usyk's past performances, Warren is convinced that repeated, well-placed shots to the midsection can disrupt Usyk's rhythm and expose defensive gaps. The controversial body punch from their first encounter, ruled a low blow, has taken on new significance in their camp. Dubois himself now refers to it as a divine strike, claiming it was a glimpse of the damage he can do when he lands clean to the body. Warren has gone further, boldly asserting that his team understands Usyk's habits better than even Usyk's own trainers. He insists their preparation has been meticulous, and their game plan is airtight. Confident in their approach, Warren believes Dubois will impose himself so decisively in the rematch that the outcome will leave no room for controversy or debate. Beyond body shots, Warren emphasizes the importance of a consistent jab and forward pressure. He argues that Usyk is significantly less effective when forced to fight off the back foot, potentially neutralizing the majority of his strengths. With youth versus experience, raw power versus elite finesse, and redemption clashing with legacy, this July rematch is shaping up to be an all-time heavyweight classic.